Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 13th of August, 2023. Wonderful. That's right, friends, I have returned to you with another fragrance rotation video. Sorry for my inactivity this week. I haven't put out much content. That is because I've had a busy old week. I've had appointments and things to do all week. And I've done all of those things, and it has absolutely wiped me out. There was a question whether I was going to get this done today, because I'm knackered. But here I am. And hopefully I will stream tonight. So that'll be fun, I hope. Let's have a look at the fragrances that I wore this week. Are they all niche? No. No, they're not. Not even close. They are more higher end perfumes though. And we will start at the beginning with a perfume that's definitely not niche, but is in a higher end collection. And this is, if you couldn't tell from the bottle, Azure by Tom Ford, the private blend version. I think the main difference between this and the signature version is the quality of the patchouli. The patchouli in this is massive and it's brilliant. It's quite a lot like Patchouli Absolute, you know. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. There's a lot of rosemary in here as well. Some clary sage, I think. It's a fabulous fragrance. I should really review it. I haven't done enough reviews on my channel. I want to do some more, but I like to be certain in the opinion I have of fragrances before I review them. You know, and I always think I'm going to mess things up when I review perfumes. But not to worry, I'll come round to it. I'll get to it. This is Azure, big lavender perfume, fabulous. Absolutely gorgeous perfume this is. Love it. Feels a little bit fancy for just like everyday wear. Unless you're a fancy person. Which, unless you hadn't noticed by now, I am not. Pretty much the furthest thing from a fancy person that there can be. Next we have a very much a niche fragrance, and it's a fantastic niche fragrance. This is Oda Sud by Annick Goutal. Glorious it is. This is limes and oak moss. There are obviously other things going on in here, but to me, I get limes and I get me some oak moss. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got the faintest hint of mint. It's also got a lovely bergamot. A little bit herbal at the top, maybe. You know? What are we thinking that is? Could be some basil. There's also some like lemon verbena in here, like a floral, clean kind of vibe going on. It's an absolutely gorgeous perfume, actually. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It's a proper summertime. It smells like a Jean Patou. That's how good it is. It's made in that classic style with really high quality ingredients in this format. In this bottle, that's what this perfume smells like. It's absolutely stunning. It's held up brilliantly over the years as well. It's very classic though, as Jean Patous tend to be, even though this is an Annick Goutal. Wednesday it was a little bit colder and there was rain. So I decided to wear something that was a little bit warmer for the summer anyway. And this is Himalaya by Creed. Maybe the most underrated Himalaya. Maybe the most underrated Creed even. Jesus. This is my 120ml bottle. Don't rate the later versions of this, the old 100mls. They're a bit crap. So this is a little citrus at the top, but mainly it's like this flinty, metallic, without it being metallic, kind of mineralic. That's probably a better way of putting it, you know? It's mineralic. It is... Somebody's at the door. It's mineralic. It's got this kind of flinty kind of vibe. It's a little bit citric at the top, but it's mainly this ambergris, musk and sandalwood thing that Creed are very famous for. Absolutely beautiful dry down. It's stunning. This is gorgeous. I think this is hugely underrated. Everybody talks about Green Irish Tweed. They talk about Royal Oud. They talk about Aventus. This kind of gets left in the dust. I'm all right with that because I love it, you know? And it smells like an old-fashioned Creed should do. And that was what I wore on Wednesday. Not the last time you're going to see a Creed. Thursday, it was raining a little bit again, and it was a little bit cooler, but it was also the midst of summer, and I didn't want to wear something that was going to be, you know, I'd almost given up on summer, to be honest with you. I just started wearing summer fragrances even though it was raining, but then I saw this and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to wear this because I absolutely love it. And this is Tsara, as Lex Ellis used to say. If you watch his review on it, you'll see it. And he's like, Tsara. This is oak moss. This is a big oak moss fragrance. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's very, very... how can I put it? It's like a classic men's fragrance from the 80s. It's green, it's fresh, it's got pine, leather, wood, sandalwood, cedar wood, woody vetiver. There's a little bit of florals in the mid. Something a tiny bit spicy in it, but mainly the main star of the show is oak moss. It's just a big green moss perfume. It's fantastic. I love it. I don't think it's that complex. I think the note listing's massive, but I don't get huge note list vibes from it, you know? Everything's kind of there, but it's blended gloriously, you know? I can't remember what year it was released in. I think it was 1987. It was towards the end of the 80s. You know, and it feels like a relic of a bygone age. It feels closer to Quorum than it does to Acqua di Gio, you know. A bit of a throwback, maybe even at the time. So, fantastic perfume. I love it. I've got it decanted because that's a splash. So, there we are. Next up, I wore something completely different. And this is from the House of Guerlain. And it is my dinky bottle of Honneur de Samsara. Wore this on Friday. What a perfume this is. A flanker to the legendary Samsara, which I love. It's Samsara. It's a watered down Samsara, but still quality, right? With the sandalwood and that kind of Guerlain, vanilla, jasmine, ylang kind of thing, and just with a dirty great mint at the top, and it works beautifully. Very similar mint to the one that's in Vintage Derby, and it just gives it this freshness, and it's beautiful. You can still find these for reasonable prices on eBay. And I just love it. It's fantastic. You can see how much I've worn of it, because I put a lot on when I wear it, but I don't wear it very often. But that's a hell of a dent I've just realised I've put in that bottle. It's classic in that sort of old girl on sort of way. This was released in the mid-90s. Samsara was released in 89. This was released in 94, 95, I want to say. I think close at 95. Beautiful. Absolutely great perfume. Much better than the modern Samsara. I smelled the modern Samsara recently and it's very upsetting. The ones up until about the year 2000 had the real Mysore in it. So if you're going to go for one, pay the extra and get the vintage, you know, if you're going to go for a Samsara. Anyway, yesterday was Saturday, and it was the day I met Jura Rose. For the second time, I should say. I met Jura Rose, and I decided to wear something a little bit special. And since Eugene released this the day before, since he reviewed it the day before, I decided to wear this, and it is Creed's Bois de Portugal. Absolutely stunning. The bergamot in this is top notch. Absolutely top class. One of the best uses of bergamot I've ever smelled. It's glorious. And then the lavender's absolutely amazing. And it's backed up by that sandalwood, ambergris, musky thing that Creed, like the same in Himalaya. It's got that deep, rich, fresh, classy Creed base that they used to have, which they no longer do. They've bastardized their own brand over the years in the name of profit and money, which just goes to show that profit is not always or even mostly the guarantor of quality. But this version of this fragrance is glorious. The old 120ml sizes, absolutely stunning. Top-notch perfume, top-notch ingredients, blended beautifully. I think this was released in 1987? 1987? I bet it was made by Pierre Bourdon. But it's gorgeous. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't remember which celebrity that pretended wore this, but I wore it yesterday, and that's what matters. And I used it to meet Jura Rose, and it is great. Wow, it is really a very impressive fragrance. And today's scent of the day, excuse me whilst I apply richly. I've already put about 15 sprays of this on, if not more. And this is a fragrance you can't spray too much of. Santal Messiah. The weather's a little bit up and down today. So this kind of suits most weathers, but it has that kind of milky, coconutty, slightly sweet thing that to me implies that it should be worn in the summer for some reason. It's sandalwood, milk. It's got some fruity kind of thing going on, but very delicately done, as Jean-Claude Lehner is wont to do. You can't spray too much of this on. I'm convinced you could douse yourself in 200 mils of this and you would be able to cope. It's that kind of fragrance. Obviously, it's got Messiah in it. It's got that milky thing. It's absolutely delightful. It's beautiful, you know. Fresh but warm, rich, but ethereal. It's Jean-Claude Lane at his best. This is what he does, people. And I am enjoying it greatly. You can see the dent I've put in it, but then I would applying it fucking 3-4 times a day, and putting like 10 sprays on at a time. And that is it, my friends. This has been my fragrance rotation. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.